Yeah, I'll talk about the players. I mean, it takes a team, a really good team to be able to achieve what they've done. And the leaders, through Paddy, Payne, Reno, Hunty, Katoni, they're probably the mainstays, the leaders, but I had a lot of boys coming underneath that actually really jumped into the expectations and standards of what they built. So, look, I feel that they're only at the infancy of where the starting point is because we've only had 12 months.
Get the popcorn out. It's time to talk about Michael Maguire and what a performance it was this year by the head coach of the Brisbane Broncos in his first year winning the premiership. Now, did he change throughout the season?
Oh, look, I've got no doubt Madge changed. And look, I had a lot to say, and I said it at Vegas. We did an after show in Vegas, and I said, you know, he'd driven them too hard. And, you know, they started strong, and then they went into this massive slump. Now, they lost to South, they lost to St George. They got beaten 34-6 by Manly at Brookvale Oval. And I'm told, and I've had it confirmed from journalists in Brisbane, that Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds went and saw Madge, not to complain about cruises, camps or spit buckets. That wasn't what it was about. It was about intensity. Some of the stuff we saw in Tales of Tiger Town, some of the stuff that when he finished up at South. Saying the players are happy to work hard, 9-hour days, not a problem, but we're just feeling a bit of anxiety around the place. Would you mind rolling it back? At the same time, they hired a crisis manager, a guy called Grant Williams. Grant Williams has handled police commissioners, all sorts of high rollers. Yeah. And he's... What are you laughing at?
I'm not laughing.
Oh, right, OK. Anyway, Grant Williams worked very closely with Madge, and I can tell you now that Madge pulled back a little bit.
What did he work closely with him on?
What do you mean?
What was specifically as he worked closely?
I just explained he knocked back a bit of his intensity. Yeah. They were in big trouble, mate. You know, in the first 12 rounds,
I agree with that.
They'd won 5 games of footy. And Madge himself was right over the appointment of Grant Williams. He wanted help in there.
It's a good decision by him.
It was a great decision. Yeah. And what I wrote this morning, that was...
Hang on, Reedy's sitting here. I just want Reedy to come in.
Well, I think we saw what the players
You don't think this meeting happened?
I think we saw what the players...
Do you think this meeting happened?
I've got no idea, Buzz. Yours, Yarn. You generally get things right. So I would suggest
Did you see Peter Bedell when I asked him last week?
I just said to you, you probably generally get things right. What I'm saying is all the talk about Madge's intensity, baseball bats, spew buckets, army camps. We saw what the players thought of that commentary with their reaction after the game. Payne Haas was getting around with a baseball bat. They were taking the mickey out of it.
They're winners.
They are winners. Because,
he won them back
because that commentary, Buzz, with due respect to you, mate, I don't want to be critical of you because you've done far more than I have in this game. But that commentary was ridiculous.
What about
I think it's been proven
as
with the way they've won the grand final.
for staying quiet last Monday. So I'll stand by everything that I said about Madge.
Yep.
My beef was when he took on Billy Slater in the glass houses, and that's where it started. Yeah. Right? And then I read out his record at the West Tigers. Yep. And I said, how does the management come up with this guy? Yep. Right? With the record that he had, but they did. And now he's proven me wrong. But the thing is, I'm not saying that Kevy wouldn't have the players in the same spot, and I'll never walk away from that.
That's fair enough, Gordy.
And then the players... We
all understand why you take that view. You're entitled to that view.
But listen, as a Bronco, I'm not a Broncos basher, and I want to congratulate everybody involved, because it's amazing to have that stadium the way it was, to have it humming, to have those 10,000 people there today, and those players that I've watched when there was wooden spoons, and Payne has what he's given that jersey now.
I question that. I've got to question that. I've got to question the Kevy thing. Like, I love Kevy, and I think he's a great coach. And I can't say he wouldn't have been able to do what Madge has done. Like, it's impossible.
No one can.
But what I will say is, when he got to the club, Madge has said that he thought they were unfit, right? So he trained them hard, spew buckets, army camps, all that. They had 6 comebacks, 10-plus points, against top 8 teams from round 16 onwards. Now, you can question, would they have done that this time last year? I mentioned before, he dropped Cobbo and he dropped Arthurs. Now, would the previous coach have done that? We don't know, but I don't know, right? Shibasaki, he plucked from oblivion and gave him the opportunity this year, which was outstanding. And I believe that he's a big part of the transformation of
Who signed Herbie?
We cannot sit here and say that. And you can disagree with me, Gordy, and that's fine. And I'm not saying that he couldn't have done it.
Yeah, but before Rudy jumped in,
he's
Braith,
not getting enough credit for this. And
hold on. You obviously didn't read my column this morning.
He's wrapped himself all
Before
year.
this bloke jumped in, as I was halfway through explaining it, Madge's biggest win this year was his lack of stubbornness. That he took aboard what Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds said to him, his leaders, behind closed doors, and he changed. He just backed off it. And did you
listen to the players after the game, every single one that was interviewed?
That's why,
Reece Walsh sums it up. He said, he demands a lot, we just won a comp.
Yes.
That's all that needs to be said.
Yes.
Braith, I think the reason they got in there was everything we saw in the latter stage of the season. They got in there to add some steel, some starch, some resilience to that footy club because it didn't seem to be there last year.
Well, what do you want?
The resilience is a big thing.
And that's what they've got. That's exactly what they paid him to do.
Hold on.
He's done it, and he's done it. He's instilled
what do you want me to sit
club.
here and say? What do you want me to say?
Whatever you want.
When they're five from 12 weeks, beaten 34-6, beat St George, beat South, do you want me to just come in and say, yeah, good weekend, Braith? You know, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to analyse? And you know what?
Gordy said that Madge proved him wrong just there. Did he prove you wrong?
I said last week he proved me wrong. But I'm not apologising as some people want me to.
I don't want you to apologise. You're asking to apologise.
Well, some people have, and I'm not here. Madge proved me wrong. Madge deserved his premiership. You happy?
I'm very happy.
And you've been wrong too this year.
Of course I have.
You started with Canterbury, you bounced over to Nicodese, and then you bounced on to Brisbane.
That's untrue, Buzz. you're the biggest turncoat in the game.
You did cheer. You were cheering Brisbane home a week ago.
100%.
I saw that.
Oh, but let me get something straight. I'll push back on that. Nick is like a father to me.
Sorry for having to do that.
And I've been mates with him the whole time.
And you love Canterbury.
And Buzz I've spoke to a million times. I've spoken to Gus and all the other guys as well a million times. So that's actually wrong. But I know you're trying to deflect from this.
You're not going to get off.
I am not trying to deflect.
He's right. He's a good player. Very good player.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
How's he going, mate?
All right, a couple of Broncos players, Adam Reynolds and Ben Hunt. What a moment it was for them to get this premiership. The redemption story behind it was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Ben Hunt, the moment in Canberra, the field goal. Like I know last night it was a really tough game, but the moments that he had, he needed big moments. Outstanding to watch how emotional he was. Adam Reynolds, the poor old bugger, his body broke down again. Yeah. But it's great to see those guys. I think they're the oldest halves pairing in the history of rugby league. The way they embraced after the game, and that's what I did. Like I sat back and watched the moments with those guys.
And Ben Hunt, if we stuck to contracts, would still be feeding the scrums at St George Illawarra. But he wanted a new opportunity. He got it. St George didn't fight him. And Adam Reynolds, I was sitting there last night, this before he got carried off, I'm thinking, what is South thinking? He's taken this team.
But what are the Dragons thinking? Because there's their other number 7 playing.
Well, I think it was more significant for Ben because Adam's got a premiership. It was a long time ago, but for Ben after what happened in 15, I think that was huge for him.
Was it redemption?
Yeah, well, as close as you get, Braith, isn't it?
It's pretty big, wasn't it? What about Ezra Mam?
Man, he was
you
good,
talk about Reece Walsh and you talk about two-pronged attack. Now, you're watching the game again live and the speed at which Reece executes and performs is next level. Then you've got this guy coming off the bench who is electric and dangerous with every touch, and he made a massive impact, didn't he, Reece?
He's physical too, Braith. I think that's the other thing you don't notice about him. He plays a physical game, but I thought he was outstanding.
At the end of the game, it was the only half they had left on the football field.
The running threat of Mam and Reece out there live was unbelievable.